Hello everybody! It is getting really cold here in New York City, and I just thought that it might be the good time to show you my last vacation to Colombia. It was beautiful, it was gorgeous, they had great food, the landscapes were great, people were nice, even though they didn't understand my Spanish because my level of Spanish is pretty low. Anyways, that's what it looked like. Let's talk a little bit about logistics. If you decide to go there, you'll probably be staying in Medellin, which is the closest biggest city. It's about a 2-hour drive from Guatape. And if you're a gringo like me and you speak very little Spanish like me, it's not that hard to go there. Chances are that you'll be staying at El Poblado, which is the Williamsburg of the city. You just walk down to the metro, you go all the way up to the bus terminal station, you get your tickets, you get into the bus, you enjoy the view, and 2 hours later, you are in Guatape. So the bus will stop at several places. It will stop first at La Piedra, which is like the big stone that you probably saw in the thumbnail. And it would also stop in the city itself. I would recommend that if you just go there for a day trip, you'd stop directly at La Piedra and you walk up and then you can go to the city if you're done with the stone. I stayed there for 3 days, so I took a hotel. That was also really nice, but that's the next part. Once you arrive at the town of Guatapé, I would recommend you to take little tuk-tuks that they called motoshivas, because shivas are the Colombian rural transportation bus. There are these huge massive buses with wooden benches, and so you take these little motoshivas and drive up to your hotel. It's fairly cheap, it's only about $2 or $3. The hotel where I was staying at is called Encuentro, and it is located 10 minutes away from the city, walking, meaning if you take the tuk-tuk, which I, again, highly recommend, it's only going to be 2 minutes. It's basically a bed and breakfast with a very homey, warm, colorful, welcoming feel. And the reason for that is that it also is an artist residency. What do I mean by an artist residency? They basically let people stay for free or very little money in exchange for their artistic services. So they go there, they paint stuff, they decorate the whole place, they make it look gorgeous, and they just stay for free. And it makes it very, very welcoming, very warm, very charming, and yes, highly recommend it. The city itself is honestly pretty small, but very, very charming. The biggest thing you'll notice about it is that they have what they call zócalos on the side of each wall. They're basically mural reliefs that they paint and that represents most of the time what the house is for. So for example, I once saw a zócalos with a pool table drawn on it, and it was a place, basically a bar with a pool table inside. I saw a zócalos with some wheat on it, and that was the bakery. That's super easy. You don't even need to know Spanish to get around the city. And because Guatapé is surrounded by water, you have this feeling of a beach town where you have a lot of water activities. So you can rent jet skis, you can go on boats, you can have a mini cruise with this cruise ship that has 4 jacuzzis on its deck. You can do zipline, and there's a lot of stuff like that. So at night there are several bars and restaurants that are open. It's not as busy as New York City, but it's still pretty lively around the marketplace in the center of the town. I was lucky enough to be there on December 7th, which is the day of the little candles. In Spanish it sounds something like El Día de los Vielitas. I don't know why I had a Spanish accent, but anyway. Which is the evening of the Immaculate Conception. If you don't know what that is, ask a Christian friend. And that was actually pretty nice, because I got to see people putting little candles in front of their doorsteps, and it really gave a whole Christmas vibe to the town. Even though it's tropical, even though you don't have snow, it really felt like Christmas. Last but not least, La Piedra. La Piedra is this massive 300-meter high stone that you can see from pretty much anywhere. To go there, use a tuk-tuk, because that's the only way to go around town in Guatapé. And that, my friends, will leave you at the bottom of the stone. So there is 740 steps all the way up. On your way down, you have a lot of souvenir shops that are pretty tacky and pretty cheesy, and lots of them are pretty obscene, but you know, it's part of the fun. Before going all the way down, you have this little platform where you can just sit down, relax, have a drink, enjoy the view, and fire up your drone. To conclude this video, if you're staying in Medellin, I would definitely recommend you to go to Guatape. It's a trip that can be done in a day, but I stayed 3 days because I didn't want to rush it. It has a lot of wonderful landscapes and it's worth it.